All right, we gotta talk because this whole situation is truly, truly disappointing for Colts fans. Can't believe this happening again. So, the injury woes for Carson Wentz continue, and this time it's involving his foot. So, we just got news from Coach Frank Wright that Frank Wright said that Carson Wentz will undergo surgery to repair his foot. There's a broken bone in his foot, so he's going to undergo surgery for that today, and he will miss the next 5 to 12 weeks. That is within the range. The next 5 to 12 weeks, he'll be out. So, that's a huge issue for the most part. I know a lot of people were like, how specific is that? 5 to 12 weeks from today or 5 to 12 weeks from when the season starts? I do believe it's 5 to 12 weeks from when the surgery is completed. That makes the most sense here. So he's going to be out pretty much for all of training camp. And he may miss, either the start of the season or, depending on how long it takes for him to recover, a good chunk of the season. Because with a range of 5 to 12 weeks, he's most likely not coming back after 5 weeks. So, you don't want to put your whole belief in that. So it's probably going to be around 8 to 10 weeks, if I was to be honest, for the most part. He'll probably, as early as 8 weeks, as late as 10 weeks. I don't think he's going to take the entire 12 weeks to recover, because if that happens, that's deep into the season. We're 6 weeks away from the NFL season starting. So if he takes 12 weeks, he's already missed about 5 to 6 games right there. That is a big chunk of games to miss. And it sucks right here because, the Colts are, they're not exactly in a great situation. This was your guy, and now you don't have a Jacoby Brissett. You don't have a Phillip Rivers. There's no one there to just take the reins for you guys, so it's already tough. Those were quality starters, and now you just don't have them. And with Carson Wentz's injury, it's a great chance you're going into the regular season without him, and you're going to play the first couple of games of the season without Carson Wentz. That's already a tough way to start off. Not to mention, he's going to miss all of training camp. The rest of training camp, he's missing. All those times he could have been working towards gaining that chemistry with his guys, that's gone. Some of the experience they could have had with the preseason where they're working things out, that's gone. You just got to hope that Carson Wentz can get healthy, and by the time he comes to play for the regular season, you just got to hope for the best for the most part, because you're just going to have to throw him in. Not to mention, we don't exactly know how he's going to look coming off of, surgery and this whole thing. He'll be fine. He'll be recovered, but to be that away from football and then just get thrusted immediately into the regular season, that's going to be tough. So it's truly unfortunate when it comes to Carson Wentz, and it's truly unfortunate for the Colts, man. They had a lot of hope. We'll see. I mean, it's not like it's the end-all, be-all, like their season's just over. Who knows how it's going to go, but it's a terrible way to start off, especially knowing that the regular season's on the horizon and Carson Wentz may not even be the starter to go for week 1, week 2, or week 3, and maybe even more than that, depending on how long it takes for him to recover. So this is just terrible. Frank Wright did give it a 5 to 12 weeks range, but I don't think it's more so on the 12-week side than the 5-week side. So if they're lucky, maybe he comes back in 7 weeks. If he comes back in 7 weeks, he may just miss the first game of the season. That's not that bad. If he comes back in 6 weeks, he'll be just in time if they want to play him. But I don't know how long it's going to take. It really depends on his recovery process and how that goes. Now, what makes this whole story interesting is that this foot injury involving the broken bone in his foot, this has been a situation that has been bothering him dating back to high school. This is an old injury that goes all the way back to Carson Wentz's time in high school, and it was never really repaired. Over time, the broken bone in his foot just started to seriously bother him to the point where he was feeling pain there. So it never got fixed. All throughout his time, it never got fixed. Now it's officially getting fixed. That brings up something very interesting. So Carson Wentz had this broken bone in his foot this entire time. He was in Philadelphia for 5 years. And not once was it ever mentioned that this man had a broken bone in his foot that needed to be fixed. Nor was there any action taken towards getting surgery to fix this broken bone. What in God's name is going on in Philadelphia with this training staff? How you cannot tell me this man went the entire time without you guys not knowing this injury? I refuse to believe that. I believe they did know about this injury, but the decision was at that point was there's no reason to get surgery for that. Like I said, originally it looked like the Colts may have, they originally planned for it to be a situation where he would still be able to be on the field and he'd be rehabbing at the same time and they would kind of monitor it. But it was really just delaying the inevitable. You would have to eventually get surgery. And they're like, well, it's better to get it done now so you'll be ready to go 100%. And we ain't got to worry for the regular season. As opposed to try and delay this. And then all of a sudden, we get closer to the regular season. It's like, oh, well, now you have to get surgery so you can miss half the season. But wow, 5 years in Philadelphia. Not once was this situation ever really dealt with. Really. What is going on with the training staff in Philadelphia? How did you not know about this? And why was this not handled sooner? You're telling me he was there the entire time. The 5 years he was in Philadelphia, this situation was never handled. They never talked about him getting surgery on his foot to repair this broken bone. Never discussed, not really talked about. We didn't really hear anything about that. Really? Interesting. You'd think he would have gotten it with all the injuries he was suffering. You think he would have gotten that done in the midst of all the other injuries he was suffering when he was missing time. Wouldn't that have been a bright idea? Nah, I can't believe this. The man spent his entire time in Philadelphia with this broken bone in his foot, and it was never dealt with. No wonder he's been performing bad. No wonder his footwork has been terrible. He's got a broken bone. Of course his footwork isn't going to be great. I'm not going to say that that whole broken bone is the complete cause of his, terrible performance last year in Philadelphia. Not going to say that. I will say, his footwork not exactly improving over these last couple years. That may have something to do with it. But I really can't believe he spent his entire time in Philadelphia and this whole situation was not addressed. Really. With all the injuries he was suffering, with all the time he was missing dealing with these injuries, never once was surgery brought up to deal with this broken foot. Really? Only now? I can't believe this. I really can't believe this. Wow, Philly. Y'all training staff is something terrible. Then again, should I be surprised? With all the injuries that the Eagles continue to suffer, should we really be surprised? I'm just being honest. Should we be surprised? Nah. They're suffering injuries right now. The first round receiver draft pick, he's suffering a knee sprain or something like that. Or it was an MCL sprain. It was an injury as well. And now, he's going to be missing a little bit of time. He's going to be out. And it's like, what? What is going on with this training staff in Philadelphia? Why are your players getting injured like this? This is a serious concern if you're an Eagles fan. But wow, I can't believe that this situation was never dealt with the entire time he was in Philadelphia. And now that he's with the Colts, it's going to get dealt with right now. Unbelievable. Truly, truly unbelievable. I can't believe it for the most part. But Colts fans, I ain't gonna lie, this is tough. Carson Wentz missing the rest of training camp and a good part of the season as well, most likely. That's not fun. That's not fun. No Jacoby Brissett to help you out here. Phillip Rivers is already retired. He's not here to help you out. You guys could start the season off very poorly. And depending on how long he's gone, it could be a very, very gruesome start for your season. And that is truly unfortunate. This is terrible news, man. This is terrible news if you're a Colts fan. Because I've said it before, this team is built to really compete for a championship. It's just the whole quarterback position. They needed a quarterback to get it done. And they believed Carson Wentz could have been the guy. And, now with this injury, he's not even going to be there to start. And when he gets back, depending on how long he's gone, he's going to be stuck in a very bad situation if they're not able to hold it down. Let's say he's gone the first, let me be positive. Let's say he's gone the first 3 games of the season and they go 0-3. That's worst case scenario. Maybe best case scenario, they go 1-2. But if he has to come back and start off with them being 0-3, that's a tough situation to deal with. And to overcome an 0-3 deficit in the season, that's rough. But yeah, Colts, you're just going to have to do what you got to do here for the most part. I know this is unfortunate. What really gets me is the fact that he's going to miss the rest of training camp. So, he's not going to be able to continue to build the chemistry he has with his guys. And when he gets back, we don't exactly know what condition he's going to be because he's going to be gone for a while. And you just hope that, when they just throw him in during the regular season, he'll be fine to go and everything will be all cool. Who knows, man? Who knows? But either way, Colts, you're going to have to figure something out, Carson Wentz is not going to be back for quite some time. Getting that surgery to repair his foot today. He's going to be gone, definitely gone for the rest of training camp. Most likely going to miss at least 1 or 2 games to start off the season. And you guys just got to hold up. You got to hold up and just hope that when he comes back, he's ready to fire on all cylinders from the get-go. Because otherwise, it's going to be a very tough season for you guys. This is truly, truly unfortunate, man. Truly unfortunate. But it is what it is. That's just how these things tend to happen. With that being said, that's all I got. I'm feeling real bad for Colts fans right now. This is truly disappointing, but it is what it is. That's all I got, and I'm out of here, man. Peace.